we're here now to focus on this thing and get this thing out there. So yes, there is value in those videos, and Alex in particular seems like a good guy. But yeah, maybe, I mean, I'm not going to tell you not to watch them, but just be mindful that, if you suddenly get this, oh, this is the direction we need to go in, or this is it, it might not be the case. You're just maybe getting caught up in a few different ideas and a few different things. But yeah, it's good that you're so keen to learn anyway, because as we discussed last week, some people just don't want to learn at all. So
Yeah,
you're definitely on the other end of the spectrum.
I would like to learn, and yeah, it's just, you know what, I think sometimes, many times, I think if I could if I only knew about this 10 or 20 years ago, if I could turn back. But that's where internet is. It's a great equalizer. It's everybody from 7 to 117 years all have access to the same information at the same time simultaneously. It's just a matter of, do you want to learn? Are you
And take action. That's the
and
key
take
thing.
action? Yeah. So that's also what
Like,
I'm thinking. I'm listening to all this stuff, and I, from the videos that I've watched about from this Krista Meisher, is a real estate agent coach, and I just getting the like idea that I'm I'm about 1% of what there is to learn is what, but I think I'm currently 1% more than a lot of people. So,
mm,
but
yeah.
yeah,
So
yes,
you said that you want to coach estate agents to get motivated sellers. I like the idea of being more specific, because it just means we can talk to more specific results and the things
yes.
that they're struggling with. Why do you want to go that direction?
I think because if I have sellers, if I have motivated sellers, then buyers just go, they appear by themselves. It's I'm seeing right at this very moment. I've got a property that is very good, priced at the right price. I don't have to search for buyers. They just contact me by myself. Just put it out there, and people. So, and I think it's a lot harder to more challenging to get sellers than especially motivated sellers. What would I say? And also you need a motivated buyer as well. To give you an example, currently the property that I've got a person to a property, and the buyer, and he's making you a cash offer, like in, let's say if one South African rand is £1, one on one, like for like. It's not really like that, but okay. He's making a £3 million offer on a property that says if he gets his offer to purchase today, signs it, he can pay the amount next morning. The full purchase price is in his bank account. So that's a kind of, I love that kind of, but yeah, what I more is yeah, you'll eventually get those people, but I like the motivated sellers, the people that have already
So
made the decision up that they want to sell, they need to sell, and if they get an offer, they will sell, or they need a bit of
so
counseling.
if would you agree then that that is a much bigger problem? Getting motivated sellers is a much bigger problem for people than getting motivated buyers.
Yes, I
In
think
terms of in terms of the difficulty, but in terms of how it impacts the business as well.
I
So from a
think so.
business point of view, if they're doing very well at getting um, motivated sellers, they're going to be doing really well.
I think so. I think if people get motivated sellers, uh, they would be. I think it would impact the business much more. It would have a better. Uh, but I think there's a structured. There's probably a structured way to make yourself known uh, to the market, and,
Yeah, because you're solving
Yeah.
a specific problem. So it's easier to create a structured solution when you're helping them solve one specific problem,
Yes.
which is always the way that I try and go with people. So yeah, if you think I'll trust your judgment on this because you've been doing it for many years, if you think that that is a problem that people are most looking to solve and they're aware that that is going to have the biggest impact on their business, then more than happy to go in that direction.
I think if I look at, if I just think of my, if I'm thinking of my own, of what I've been doing in the year 2021, it started off with a bit of a disastrous start, and I can think it's because I didn't have properties that was set for that were with motivated sellers. I think if I had, I think at the end of the day, I'd like to coach people on the process of getting motivated sellers, and
yeah. Okay, so going back to we were talking about some like specific numbers that you could potentially quote for your offer sentence kind of thing. So you said before using a proven system to generate 70 to 100 leads. If I remember rightly, most of the leads in that scenario were buyer leads.
That is yes, those are buyer leads. But
how many seller leads would you say per month?
I think I got about, for myself, about 2 a month or so, something like that. It's I think, but my seller leads usually they arrive through the same channels as the buyers, and I think it's got the experience that I've had is if I stop advertising, I stop getting phone calls. So I post, the only way I'm advertising at the moment, and I mentioned before, is organically posting on Facebook groups every single day. And I haven't actively been posting in the last 2 weeks. And I've noticed if I don't stop posting, my phone stopped ringing. I'm not getting any, because the sellers also buy. They also contact me from the same, in the same way. So they watch the video, they watch my videos, they like what they see, and they call me. So if I don't, if I go actively advertising every single day and posting about 30 groups it takes about 2 weeks, and then the momentum starts rolling again. And that's
okay.
what I.
So how would we tweak again, because this sentence isn't the only way I'll ever talk about what you do, but again, it's it's good focus to understand in a short way what it is that you do.
Yes.
So we had, I help estate agents increase buyer and seller leads from their local area by using a proven system that generates 70 to 100 leads per month with zero advertising spend. So
I think that's.
Yeah,
go ahead.
Do you want to keep it as that? Because we talk about buyer and seller leads.
I think we can keep it like that. Because what we can, if I do a sort of like an ad campaign, you can see what works. You do it buyer and seller leads, because I'm targeting estate agents, particularly estate agents, and they're looking for buyers and they're looking for sellers, and I think that would resonate with.
Yeah, I really like it. It's just with this new direction. But then I suppose if the buyer leads happen relatively organically anyway, when you focus on getting great seller leads, then you can still say that.
I think so. I think so.
Yeah.
I think we just keep it like that. I think the wording just keeping like that.
Okay, so in that case, this week I thought it would be good to really go into the offer, both in terms of how you're going to talk about what it is that you offer when you speak to people. And then also breaking down the specific mechanics of what we need in place and what you'll actually be teaching kind of step by step to provide the service, basically.
I think that is exactly what what I was. It is one of my where I definitely need help with is a structure of an offer. This is what are people going to learn? What is step 1, step 2, step 3? What are you going to learn in on what are people actually getting?
Yeah, okay. So I'm thinking what's the best way around to do this? I think if we go in detail first and break down the actual process, and from that we can come together to help create an offer to explain it to those people, because you won't necessarily explain it in the step by step and telling them the features, if you like. You're going to explain it in a way that hits on the problems that they're aware of.
Their pain points.
Yeah, the pain points and the things that they're aware of. Not necessarily saying, oh, I'm going to help you create this technical thing and that technical thing, because they don't care about that at this stage. They want to know, like, what problems is it going to solve. So
I think the word that I use myself is how to get clients. How to get clients for your business. Not sure if that out of your experience, how does it sound to you?
Do estate agents want clients? Is that how they define it?
I don't. Yeah, I think
Or do
so.
they say leads? Do they say leads?
Yeah. How to get? Yeah, I think probably leads is how to get leads for your business. That converts into how to get leads for your business that converts into sale by using the solution. That is apparently what I've heard, that the three components of an explaining of an offer.
Yeah, we've kind of honed in on it with the work we did last week by having that sentence, and now what we're going to do after we've gone through the details of the actual specific steps, then we can break down how you're going to explain it to them so that it sounds desirable to them and hits on the issues that they know they have. So yeah. Okay, so let's just jump into it.
Okay.
Just start explaining to me the process of, you get someone, how are you going to start to get them results?
Okay, if I have a person sitting in front of me, what I would do is I think I would do probably like yourself, like you do. I would have they've seen my offer or they've seen my advertising, whatever. First thing is, I think I would have a consulting call or a qualifying call like we did. Show them their the thing, the method, exactly the method that I'm using. Show them the results that I'm getting. So and then show them. Go on their Facebook page, look at their Facebook, look at their ads, how many followers they have.
That's more of the selling part. Let's focus on, you've signed a client.
Okay.
Now you're tasked with getting them some results. So how would you see that going in your head?
Okay. The first thing the process, I think I would go for the easy wins first. So the first thing, anybody that works with me, they'll have to sign up to Kartra. They've got the 2-week with Kartra, and I will have to help them. The very first thing they will have to do is I'll have to set them up on Kartra. They have to buy a domain. They have to go and buy a domain, a web. They have to buy a domain. Then I have to go help them in Kartra to set up the domain, to connect the DNS and all that. I also what I'm afraid of, what I'm not, what is, there's quite a lot that I don't know, but I know enough to make it work. And that's why I feel like I've been holding back a bit, because I've seen, I'm holding back because I don't know anything. I don't know. I've run a couple of Facebook ads. Just to give you, I'm jumping around a bit. I know how to use Kartra, but I don't know everything. I know how to do what I'm doing, but there's a lot more that I can learn on how to use it more effectively. So my only what causes bit of makes me unsure or less confident is that if I get coaching clients, that I can only teach them what I know to bring them up to the level where I am. And then there's another thing is what I thought about. Okay, I know if I know I'm on a certain level, I can charge people, for example, let's say I charge them £1,000 to bring them up to the level that I know. And if I can bring my level up myself, then I can start charging, for example, £2,000 but I have to get I have to school myself first to get to that level. So
so a couple of things there. The first I would say is one of the very best ways to get better at anything, in my experience, is to teach other people to do it, because it holds you accountable. And then if you're the type of person that cares about the person's results, you're going to do your best to give them the best knowledge, the best training, the best solutions, the best way of delivering all of that stuff. And that just makes you up your game. So in all of becoming a riding coach made me a better rider in that business. And in this stuff, admittedly, I've been doing it for so many years, I could do most of this with my eyes closed. But there's times when, someone has a problem and I'm like, well, I don't actually know how to solve that. So I go and learn about it. And then in the way that I can do that, I communicate it in a way that makes sense to them, makes it easy for them to solve that problem. Rather than them spending all this time, searching around and doing stuff, I say, right, this is what we need to do. We can just take these 4 steps and it's done. So that's absolutely fine. If you don't know stuff, you will get better at it by teaching other people and helping other people. That's fine. The other thing is
thank you for mentioning that, because I think the word is confidence. I feel like if I don't have the confidence to speak to things that how can I charge people how can I charge people if I'm not confident at using the advanced? I can use the basic stuff, but I can't use the advanced stuff.
Yeah, I say this, I might have even done an entire video on it, but that you don't need to be the foremost expert in something to be able to charge people money to solve their problems.
Yes.
And again, it's just going to come from more experience of doing this, and even getting into this myself. Yes, I built a successful business selling online courses and stuff, but it was one business in one niche at the time.
Yes.
And I fully knew that coming into this business and doing this stuff with clients like you is that I'm going to learn more and more about this stuff, because I'm going to see it in different applications, different industries, and I'm going to just become a better person like that. And again, I'm thinking the same as you, that in the future I'll be charging a lot more than £3,000 for my time. Yes. But that comes later. But what I will say is that the price shouldn't be tied exclusively to your level. The price is tied to it happens to a degree, like, again, me being a perfect example, because I'm relatively new at this. Yes. I'm charging less because you want to get clients, you want to start to get results and make a name for yourself. But the result itself that you get for people and the big problem that it solves, that is what the majority of the price is tied to. So I can't charge £3,000 in my other business for a course on motorcycle riding because people just will not pay that because it's not a big enough problem.
Yes.
Whereas if I'm helping a business create a better life for themselves and make more money, £3,000 doesn't sound so much when you think of the long-term benefits. So that's what the price should be tied to most, not purely just your level.
I've just thought, by the way, I've got a BMW GS 1200, but it's probably a crime, but I've maybe driven 10, 20 miles with it, 50 kilometers in 21, and in 2022, 0 kilometers. I've got it on a trickle charger, it's battery, and the reason why is the petrol tank on the left-hand side. When I started, the petrol spews, it's like there's some crack or something that appeared there, and because it's like a BMW, we live 300 kilometers from a BMW dealer, so I have to put it on a trailer, and then I have to specially go to the BMW dealer and basically take 2 or 3 days, and I'm just, it's very nice to drive it, but at this time, I don't have the motivation to do that yet.
No, I haven't ridden a bike since September 2019, believe it or not. Because I've got my road license in 2009, and then I started racing, doing track days and riding around racetracks about 3 months after that, and I pretty much never looked back and barely rode on the road after that because the roads around here are just not great. Certainly my local roads, and just rode on the track for 10 years and then just kind of had enough and just stopped. So it's crazy that I'm selling bike training. I don't even ride anymore.
Well, it's a perpetual business that can be, people are going to be riding bikes 50 years from today. So it's a good,
exactly. And the concepts won't change, but I will get another road bike in the future, but we want to move first. But anyway,
let's go on.
And I had the same problem actually.
I digress.
Yeah. I had the same problem actually. I had a crack in my tank. But the previous bike I bought, it was a Kawasaki ZX1000 RR, just one of the crutch rockets as we call them. And the first day I took it out, I come in for the first session. After the first session, there was fuel just pissing all down the side of the bike onto the hot exhaust and everything. I was like,
exactly what's happening with me.
Yeah, so I had to take it to it wasn't quite 200 miles away, but it was it was quite far, but I had to get that fixed. Anyway, like I said, I digress. So yes, it doesn't matter that you aren't the first expert. You are vastly superior to all of the clients that you're going to be working with, and that is enough. As long as you can help people get to that level, which would just be massive for them, then you can still be charging some good money for it. So yeah, don't let that stop you whatsoever. So setting up Kartra, buying a domain. You was talking about easy wins.
So the easy wins is okay. Setting up get the people to sign up to Kartra, get them the easy wins, and then then one of the things that I would do is I would go evaluate their Facebook. See if they have a Facebook business, then look at the type of posts that they have, how frequently they post, how many followers they have, and I think the easiest one that I have is to first get them to increase the followers, and get them to.
It was within 48 hours, wasn't it?
Yeah, something like 48 hours. Get them more. Get them to, and then I will have to have them through Facebook Business, the business manager, and get them set up with a Facebook Pixel. Have them run a Facebook likes ad. Increase their, because I've looked at a couple of estate agent Facebook pages. They got like 350 to 450 followers. Rarely you'd see anybody more than, well, like more than 350. That's about where they stand. Get them that easy win so that they feel they've actually got something, and try to get them to make at least one video where they just say who they are, what they're doing, and then post the video on their Facebook page, and ask them to post the video just like what I'm doing. Post the video in their local, in one of their local groups of their town, wherever their neighborhood's a Facebook group, and post the video there and see if they can, how many views they get, and if they do that. I don't know. Actually, it's a quite a, I think it's about a 10. It's quite a long 10-step process. Teach him about. So get the Facebook lights. Set up the Kartra. Help them with the domain. Set up, buy a domain. Sign up to the Kartra. Get the domain. Sign up for Facebook Pixel, run a first Facebook likes ad, then do and then get them to run a Facebook video ad so that they can build an audience and custom audiences. 6, and then go there, get them onto Kartra. Show them how to create a landing page in Kartra. Then show them automation in Kartra, how to the email automation, how to make a form in Kartra, how to simply duplicate the phone, how to upload a picture, how to upload a video on Kartra. Show them how to make a broadcast message where they send, and I think what I should in the beginning, and you would probably have to repeat it many times. The whole object is to build a list, to build your own list where you are not on Property 24 or Zoopla or whatever, upmystreet.co.uk. You're not on Up My Street. You've got your own list, and when you've got your own list that you own, nobody can block you or none of these social justice warriors, wokies can close your website down, because you've got your own list, and you can sell. Because you own your list, you've got a list of. But that's probably some of the features. I mean, that's probably a feature.
Yeah, that's talking more about the offer, really.
That is more like
talking
offer.
about the results that they want.
But you would probably have to repeat this kind of things during the training, during the Go ahead.
I was just going to say, but then obviously just in more detail once you're on those sessions. So yeah, you'll definitely repeat that stuff, but at the same time, you don't want to be going into too much detail on the offer side. So we had easy wins first, setting up Kartra. That's just basically setting up the accounts. I'm sure linking it to Kartra does everything, doesn't it? So you have to link it to anything externally.
Let me see. Can I show you my screen? I'll share my screen with you, and then I'll show you what it does. Just go on my screen. Yeah, app Kartra.com. Kartra. Show.
Oh, I might need to enable you to do it actually.
Okay.
1 second. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, share screen. Screen 1, share. Got it. Okay. You've got, so, okay, this is Kartra. Basically, have you seen it? Have you seen it before?
Yes, you showed me on one of our early calls together.
Okay. Yeah, but this is basically my products. I think it's if you can have subscriptions, whatever, my communications. So what I would most do in a certain way is, first of all, teach people, show people how to create. There's a specific order that to create a page, and teach people the whole the sequence. I think there's a sequence in creating a landing page. So you have to teach them the sequence, and I think that's what I would. I think that's where heading of the sequence. So first thing is teach people, get people to sign up to Kartra for the 2-week trial. Number 2, teach them to. Number 2 is Facebook business. Number 2 is evaluate their Facebook page if they've got one. Have likes and followers. Number 3, set up their Facebook business page if they don't have one. Set up their Facebook pixel if they don't have one. Have them. Number 5, run a likes ad. 6, record a video of yourself. Number 7, publish your video on different, they can just in your local group. Number 3, run a video ad, create a custom. Number 8, create a custom audience. Number 9 is teach them Kartra, basically everything. Teach people how to make a landing page. Teach them the whole sequence of the whole Kartra sequence. I think, and then show them, and then one of the things I think is to just to teach people the importance of knowing your numbers. So I'm going to teach them how to use. I think step 9 is teaching them everything about Kartra. That includes the sequence for creating a landing page, the communications.
I think so, because I mean this is almost starting to sound like a course, whereas when you're offering a one-to-one service, people are almost looking to shortcut the learning part and basically getting you to either do it for them or do it with them. So similarly, when we have these conversations, like I'll give you little nuggets here and there to kind of help you understand stuff, but ultimately we're just doing the work. So the only reason why I say that is because I'm just starting to think, well, how much of your time are you going to need to give them to be able to teach them all of this stuff, like the value of numbers, whereas maybe you just give them a run through of the numbers they need to be looking out for, what good numbers are, what bad numbers are, and what they can expect, that kind of thing. And just rather than having, right, this is a lesson on how your numbers are so important. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Could you?
Because
yeah.
It just means that if you're, if you turn up to someone and say, right, in this session, I'm going to teach you about the importance of numbers in this business. How much time is that going to take you to do that and to teach all of these different facets versus just running through the process with them and then you just talk them through it and explain what's important?
I think your second, the run through the process and show them what is important is because it would be better to have them get results as soon as possible. I think exactly. The important thing is for people to get a result in the fastest possible way.
Yeah.
to get them convinced that this is the right thing. I've paid the money. I've done the right thing.
Yeah. Okay. So a good way to do this, I think, will be. So I'm gonna draw out a funnel, if you like, and the sequence of
Am I,
how someone will come into their world and ultimately become a seller with them.
am I
So
am I still on the right track for today's
yes,
discussion?
yeah.
I don't want to be I don't want
To be
digress.
clear,
Yeah, yeah.
to be clear, I'm not expecting you to just rattle off a perfect structure to how you're going to deliver this process. That's why I'm here to help you do that. So I'm just basically taking because I feel like I'm pretty good at seeing how these processes fit together. And if there's holes in it, then I'll just ask you questions to find
Yes,
out what those
please.
holes are. So I think we'll start at the high level view first. We've got some stuff of it already, but maybe before we get a bit deeper with that, we can go at a high level. So you've worked with someone, you've implemented your process, they've got the whole solution in place. What does their business now look like in terms of getting a motivated seller? So where does someone first come into their world and see them?
Where does people? I think Facebook. I think Facebook is, to me, one of the most obvious places where you would get the
Yeah,
clients.
so Facebook ads and organic posting in groups.
Correct. That's what I would think. Yes.
So that's your traffic generating strategy for your clients.
Yes. You know, I in the past, I thought about um, what about TikTok and what about, but I'm just thinking about, I'm not,
Keep it simple.
I'm a keep it simple. I'm focusing my, I'm going to say, for example, my market, my niche are people from 40, the estate agents are people are 40 plus years old. So I'm not going to, because my offer are not for the public. My offer are for estate agents, not for people that are looking for buy houses. I want to help
Yeah.
the estate agents. So, and they are typically
No.
between say 40 and 60, 65 years old.
Yeah, totally agree. So, Facebook, what are people seeing on Facebook from these estate agents? So
Um,
it's content, obviously, but what type of content are they seeing? Just really
they see.
briefly.
Okay, I think what people mostly see is what people see is they are seeing static photos, image dump of 40 or 50 photos, and
Of properties.
of properties, yes, and they are not, and with a description with absolutely everything, all the information on it. So, what I would think would be the better way is that people would, they would. There's no lead capturing. There's no way for a bot.
Oh, sorry. So that's what they currently do.
That's what they currently do, and what they currently
Okay.
and
Yeah. So
what you mean? What are the estate agents? This is what I'm seeing from what other estate agents
yeah. So what
do.
in your system? What are you going to get them to put out onto Facebook?
In my system, I'm ideally going to want to them to. This is all, this is something that I haven't done it myself yet. It makes it difficult for me to recommend to other people to do it because I haven't done it myself.
I think I know what you're going to say, but go on.
it is.
I think I have an answer for it. If it's what you're going to say, I have an answer for it. So,
Okay, it is.
yeah.
Make videos, talk about the stuff that you talk about things, give people information, teach them, educate them, and I haven't done it myself, so it's very difficult. I feel it's very difficult for me to. I don't have any proof that I've done it myself, except for I've got my videos on YouTube and this is what I've got. I can say this has worked for me. It worked for me. It can work for you.
Okay, so if you're not doing it, why do you want them to do it?
Why would I want them to do it? Well, I would. Why would? Yeah, no, that is the big question. It is
because we know that creating content creation as a business growth strategy is brilliant. We've both done it, and we've both done well with it. But we're thinking about, short-term results here, and that kind of stuff is going to take longer. So you can definitely talk to them about that. But if we're trying to get them results now, what's the best way to do that? So when we were talking last week, it sounded like you were going to go down the direction of helping them create a lead magnet and then post it. Because at the moment you post your process is to post your videos or links to your videos into groups and stuff.
That's correct,
and then they have to sign up to get the link. Is that right?
Yeah, yes, they get a link. I get a description, but one of the most crucially, most important pieces of information that people always ask, they want to know. They have to click on the link they have click on my link, and then they go to this landing page, and then to get the result, the crucial, they have to fill in the lead capture.
And what is that crucial information?
It is, in this case, it's the amount of wild animals on the property. People always want to know that. It is like a car. You own your bike, and you don't know if it's 1,000 cc's or a 50 cc. People want to know that.
That's interesting. Why do they want to know that so much?
Because there is a monetary value to the wild animals. So people, just out of you might have heard about Cecil the lion and lion hunting and all that kind of stuff. So the landowners, they take care of their wild animals. So there's not. I'm just talking in general that people are very conscious about their herds. They protect their herds, and that's what people want to know. There's a monetary value to those animals, and the more wild animals there is, the more value there is. And they just look, okay. People want to go onto the property, and they want to drive in there, and all this antelope must be looking for them. They just do they'd like do their little ears and do that. They just love it. So the more animals there,
okay.
It's okay. I've spoken too much.
No, not at all. It's interesting. Just It just, I can't quite compute the idea that you buy a house and it just comes with loads of animals.
It is. Yeah, I just want to say your house. I looked at when you had your invoice. I street viewed your address in your house, and I thought I would guess your house is 450 to 550,000 pounds probably in value. If it's
not quite. It's about 350.
Okay, for 350, you can buy. I have a property. You can buy something like 800 hectares with a modern house with like four bedroom, bathroom, kitchen, the most modern fittings, everything with hundreds of wild animals. Fully game fence mean it's like a 2.3 meter high fence all around the property, so that the animals don't run away. And there's fountains, and this is what you can buy. So
it's mad.
It's okay. But back to our
so your process. So is that your whole process? Is to
I think okay. So
basically, is that your whole process to capture leads?
My whole process is So my whole process is to capture leads is I make the first I make the video where I'm going to explain to you, or my process is that I go and list the property. I say in the video, hello, this is just short description about the property. Click here for you want the game numbers and all the numbers. Click on the link here below the video. It will direct you to a web page. I think I'm saying there I'm saying too much already. That's what I'm thinking. It will ask you for your name and your email address. Please complete it. I just needed to send you the link if you want to have the full game, all the game numbers, all the wild animals. The link is below, or I just say to them, talk to about this. The link to get the game is below the video. Just click here or click here or click here, and it's going to ask you for your name and email address. I need this to send you all the information. Please keep your eyes on your email, because I'm going to send you more information later about this property. Actually, I'm telling it to you now much easier than it is when I'm saying it when I'm standing in front of the camera. I wish I could be so fluent in saying it. But
okay,
this is what I say. So what people then do is then I go and I make a video. Like the video that I sent you recently, that I've sent you. I've got much more material that I can make a second or even a third video with some stuff that's not even on the video that you've got seen. And then I would. And I've got some snippets, like 1 or 3 minutes, where I just tell people stuff, things where I was on the road, on a dirt road, and there's a sign behind me, and it's telling people about what the sign do. And I'll send this to my, I've got to do that still. So I make a broadcast on Kartra, and I'll send that to my list, or I'll put that on my send it to my list first, and then I'll go on my Facebook business, and I'll post that video basically unedited, just like it's a raw unedited. Just put it and then post that same video in the groups, and below the video, I've got my link, my Kartra lead landing page, where people can opt in, and hopefully they click on it. But the whole idea of those kind of videos where I just talk, unedited, is just it's a known face. I know this guy. He makes this interesting videos. Whatever. He's not fake. He doesn't.
Yeah.
And this is the process that I'm following, and then people sign up to my and hopefully they click my link, and they get an email with a property description, and then once again a link to the video, and this is where my so I think that is basically my funnel. I think I've
okay. Because I'm just thinking as well, because we talked about this last week, and we said that someone coming into this, they're probably not going to want to do all the work that you are doing to create those videos and capture leads in that way. And we talked about potentially creating a lead magnet, a different lead magnet. It could just be some kind of simple PDF that allows them to offer value to people.
I'm going to send you a document that I found. Or if you just Google Longhorn Realty, Longhorn Realty. It's like American Longhorn Realty sellers. Yeah, if you just type Longhorn Realty sellers, if you search for that, it's just gonna or longhornrealty.com.
Yeah.
And then there's in the top right, there's search ranch and land, residential and selling, and then sell your ranch or land under one of those headings. And I thought, that's probably plagiarism or whatever, but I thought that is quite a simple way for a lead magnet for people to first of all click. But I have to teach. I'm thinking being an estate agent myself and doing this, but I have to coach estate agents to do this to capture a lead. So I'm what's the word, incoherent? Is that the English word for have you heard Elon Musk talking?
Yes.
He sounds like confusing, sort of.
Yeah, his mind is all over the place.
I think that's about my mind. So because you're not in my mind, you can't. I almost think you can step into my mind, but I can't. You can't. But
So is there a lead magnet or something here?
No, they don't
that
use
they're offering.
No, they're not. They don't have a lead magnet. They just the lead magnet is sell your land, and there's a get started with seller information, and they just have if I click on the top of the website, selling taxes, land and ranches, and then get started with our seller information form. Okay, it looks like they've got some sort of a lead capture document there for name and email. But they had a PDF or no. There was just something that on their website there was where you can just click on and there's you don't have to complete a lead capture. Let me do that. Let me see what happens if I do first name. Let me do it. Let's see what happens. Let's see if I
think it's okay if. Do you think these people are going to how they're going to respond when you say, "Oh, I want you to create videos of yourself"?
They're going to say no. Oh, I'm not. They're going to say no. They don't want to do it. They don't have confidence in doing it. I think, the more likely would be to have some sort of a photo, picture, a striking image where people click on something that is very beautiful and exceptional, and with a lead capture. I think the word is copywriting. You have to have the correct words in the correct order with a photo to get people to react, and they have to see.
So where in your system that you're teaching them, where are you getting them to post content and lead magnets? In groups?
In groups, yes. And there's post the lead magnets in the groups and post it on their Facebook page, and then advertise the Facebook page to their potential leads, to their audience or to a audience.
Okay.
What
are these groups that they're posting in?
If it's residential groups, or if it's something, I would think it would be people that buy a house can do anything. So it could be they could try out in their local town. If you're in Grays, you probably have your own local Facebook group there for your neighborhood. Post in there. Post in you could probably try to post in hundreds of different. First, try different. People have different jobs. I think you'd probably post something like in gardening groups and housing groups and people are with hobby type of interest groups until you're kicked off there, and then okay, I can't post my house ad in this group.
But that sounds like that's for buyers. Would you do the same process for sellers?
Yes, I think the sellers for sellers, I would probably have some sort of a lead magnet or something, some sort of a value. Say, for example, what is your house? What is your house worth? What are the things that people that want to sell houses? What are they looking for? Because you might have been living there for 7 or 10 years in your house, and you don't really know what people are looking for. How do you know your house is the value of your property? Your asking price is the right price for your property. How would you know that?
Okay. So here's what I think. I think to try and keep this as simple as possible for these people, while still offering the method that works, which is to create content, and in and around that content there is offers for something else of value to capture a lead.
Yes.
So how do you feel about teaching them how to? Would these people have websites?
They most probably will, yeah. But their websites would be ancient.
Okay. There's two ways you could go here. So I'm thinking what we need to get them to do is to start regularly posting content on their Facebook page and in groups, sharing something of value. It could even just be, here's this amazing photo that I took at this property, whatever. But that's like your more, like I call it behind the scenes content, where you're just talking about like your day-to-day job kind of thing, as opposed to purely value-driven content, which is normally helping someone solve a problem. So you could go with like teaching them to create 3 different types of content for social media. So it could be the personal stuff, so just like posting amazing pictures or talking about an experience of theirs. It could be the value type stuff. And then I don't know if it's as applicable to them, but like testimonials and from their services.
Testimonials. I think testimonials is thank you for mentioning it. I think that is a very crucial part. I was just speaking to a friend of mine before we became here, and he's helped people in the past with financing, with banking finance. He used to work at a bank and as a private banker. And a private banker is somebody who's for people who are above average wealth, and they have their private banker. They come to your house, whatever you want to have signed documents. They come to your house and do that. So he used to be a private banker, and he's familiar with that, with the process, and in that way, you could provide some value in that way.
So cool. So give me some poll. So we're gonna get them creating content, but not to the extent that you are, because that's just way too far for these people, I'm sure. Especially if they're what they know of their business and marketing their business so far is posting a listing on Properties 24, yes, or just dumping loads of pictures in a Facebook group.
Yes.
To go from that to, I want you to drive out to this property and get a drone and do all these things.
Too much for them.
They're just not going to do it. They're not you, basically. Having said that, we want to try and help them craft almost a personal brand, because they're going to start showing themselves a bit more. So, and don't worry if you can't remember this. I'll make sure I write this all out so you've got it all itemized. But we're going to help them create some kind of content schedule where they can regularly post personal stuff, which just interests people, valuable stuff, which helps people solve like simple problems, and testimonials, and doing that weekly. And then we're going to regularly get them to promote the lead magnet that you're going to help them create.
You just mentioned gold there. And the goal that you mentioned is the content strategy. It is. I think that's something that I would need myself. Is that you have to know post a specific post on a. You've got a schedule that you post do specific things on specific days, and you keep to that, and you keep to that schedule.
Yeah, so mine is quite simple. I post 5 times a week. I post one YouTube video. Well, the best way to see it is probably on LinkedIn, because that's where most of my content goes, or all of my content goes, I should say. So I post one video a week on a Monday, like a long form video, so a 10-minute video where I talk about a specific topic. Then twice a week on Tuesday and Thursday, I post some kind of image post. So I can actually show you. Let's
Go to LinkedIn. Okay, let's research you. Got you. You're on third. You're third.
What is it you're looking at?
Now I'm looking at your LinkedIn profile. Yeah, the exact one that you're showing.
Okay. So I'll just go to activity.
Just followed you.
Come on, internet. I'm probably straining the mobile data now. Hopefully I've got enough. So yeah, this is going to work backwards. So let me go to the next video. Okay, so this was last Monday. So this is basically just my YouTube videos. So I make my videos purely for YouTube. And then I just upload them to LinkedIn natively, because that's just how people want to view it on LinkedIn. So I post a video on Monday, then I post a picture post with some text, just providing some value. For me, it's just like kind of talking about the success is not in the sale, because in the course creation space, a lot of people are talking about how to make loads of money and how that's success, whereas really you want to be getting your clients results, and that is success to me. So it's kind of sharing a bit of myself as well. So Tuesday's an image post. I mean, there's text there, but it's image. More recently, I've started doing purely text posts on LinkedIn, because they're supposed to be quite good for views. I can get pretty decent views on these. But it's a similar sort of thing. It's kind of highlighting a problem, like sharing a solution, or giving people some kind of lesson, and then a call to action to send me a DM to chat.
I've had excuse me, I've got a queue. What's the queue from one of your emails, from my emails in that I used to send to people was this gigantic thing with everything, with photos, the whole thing. And I just, you know, when I got one of your last emails, I just, it's just short, because, and there's breaks between the text, and there's with a link. And I thought, okay, that makes sense to me, because in the past, what I've seen is I sent them information, then they respond, they reply to the email, and they ask the same thing that's in the email. I mean, they ask the price, but it's right there. It's like big on top, and and I thought, okay.
Yeah. So when I'm sending an email that goes to external content, the email almost acts as a hook. So in that short email, I want to get people to say, oh, I need to learn about this. I'm going to click that link and go and watch the video. So that's why I keep it nice and short for those. When you're getting into more like sales emails, they can be longer, but for content, the content, it is just short stuff. So video on a Monday, image post on a Tuesday, text post on a Wednesday, image post on a Thursday, text post on a Friday. That is it. That is my weekly schedule. So it doesn't have to be 5 posts. I would say help people create 3 like fairly simple posts that they can do weekly, just to like, because that's the long-term game.
Yes.
Is the content creation, is getting them to become more visible, and that's what's going to help with their profile. But then also give them the short-term ways in which they can, go for the low-hanging fruit and to start to see results soon. So, okay, so the first part is the platform is Facebook, and we do that with Facebook ads and Facebook group. With the Facebook ads, you could probably send people straight to the lead magnet from the ads. That would be fine. In terms of what they do on Facebook outside of ads, it's posting on their Facebook page and inside of groups. What are they posting? They're posting, so say 1 to 3, but with content creation today, the more the better. So let's just say you're going to help them create 3 types of content each week and what that content should be. You're going to help them create a lead magnet that they can point to regularly. So it could maybe not be at the end of every post. It could be at the end of every value post. So if you want to learn more about this particular thing, download my lead magnet or download my free guide. And then it could just be, here's this guide that I don't know what groups will allow these days, if they can actually just paste a lead magnet in the group. I don't know how they're actually received these days.
What I found is with lead magnet, people, as long as it's relevant to whatever the type of the group is. If it's like your local neighborhood group, basically anything goes there. But if it's a topic about motorcycle helmets, it's got to be something related to bikes, specifically motorcycle helmets. Otherwise, if it's off topic, it gets ejected.
Yeah.
But I think the whole, I think it all boils down to, for me, is use of Kartra, building a list. I think so that you have an audience. You build it's to build a list and an audience that you can readily mine for business and repeated business. What is your experience? How do you feel about that?
They're still probably the most valuable asset to any online business is the leads that they've captured and the personal information from people that they've captured. So yes, I 100% agree with you, but we need to create a system that's relatively easy for them to implement to start getting those leads.
And what I've seen from you is what the system that you've just showed me from your your strategy in LinkedIn. It's very simple. It's and simple and effective. Not complicated, easy to implement.
Yeah, I mean, it used to be. I used to be like all over the place, trying all different things on Instagram and Facebook. And this year, I just decided I'm doing YouTube for my long-term strategy, and I'm doing LinkedIn for my short-term strategy. And I just kept it nice and simple with those posts that you've seen. It doesn't take me long to create them. I batched 5 weeks of content in 2 days. And I just, knowing that I was coming to Spain and that my virtual assistant is just posting those for me every single week. So I'm not even doing any content stuff. So yeah, it's very simple.
Are you using a virtual assistant from a real life person, a human virtual assistant?
Yeah, it's from the Philippines.
Okay, I've seen a video about my friend that I mentioned earlier that I'm he's also very much into all this. No, not offer creating, but he's, won't bore you with the details. But my older brother owns many businesses, and he told my brother, yeah, you should use a virtual assistant, and now he's got one. Took many months to convince him to use a virtual assistant. And I've watched videos about virtual assistants that I don't have to. My problem is, what I've always seen is that I want to learn. Many years ago, I got cheated out of a lot of money that took me a long time, and because I didn't understand it and I trust people, and then I thought, okay, I'm gonna learn everything myself so that nobody will ever have the opportunity to talk rubber, to steal my money again, or steal my and that's what so it's quite difficult for me to learn to let go. I'm digressing now, but it is.
No, I'm the same. I'm very much the same. To be honest, she doesn't do lots. I only have her for 2 hours a day, but most of her jobs is just doing them, like the hard, repeatable, not hard, the easy but time-consuming and repeatable stuff. So like when I create YouTube videos, I just upload all the videos to YouTube, and then she goes in and puts in the titles and the descriptions and the thumbnails that I've created. So she's just doing the uploading process, which you think, oh, it's not much work, but when you've got 5 of them to do, it can take some time, and it just takes me away from other jobs, and I can just forget about it for a few weeks and let her do it. I'm questioning whether I actually need her anymore, because she's not doing much work for me anymore, but that's another conversation. But anyway, yeah, so my content strategy is very simple. So are your YouTube videos the only thing that you're posting in these groups?
I'm posting, yes, basically. I've tried. What I'm posting is I'm posting a link to my landing page. So there's a photo, short description with a link to the landing page. So
that's what you're posting in the Facebook group.
Facebook group, yes. So what I always do is I post on my personal page, on my Facebook business page. I'll post a video. Usually I have about three links, three posts of the same property. So one is I'll post the video. I'll upload my video to Facebook, the full video, shortest with the script description. Up to recently, the full description. Now just a brief description with a link to the landing page. Number one. Number two, I'll post the link to the YouTube video, from YouTube on with the short description. And number three, I'll post the link, the short description with a link to my landing to the landing page. And the reason for posting the YouTube video link is because I've just passed 1,015 subscribers on YouTube, and I'm trying to get there, reach the magical 4,000 hours.
Hours watched, yeah.
Yeah, 4 hours watched to monetize. I would honestly say that is the only reason. And then I post those videos and I post the YouTube video in the same way in the different groups. And the only reason why I'm doing this is I'm trying to get. First, I tried to get 1,000 subscribers, and now I'm trying to get to 4,000 to the 4,000 watch hours.
So yeah, sorry, just to be clear, you in the groups you post a link straight to the video or a link straight to the landing page?
A link to the landing page. So it's on the let me show you that.
And the landing page, what's the hook on the landing page? Like, get the game numbers.
Yes. it's a get the name list. So that is also another thing that I'm not too sure about, that I've used
Because
to.
it feels like there's a step missing there. Because if you're
Yes.
sending people straight to that page, I can't help but think that, especially if you're posting in, you know, groups about gardening or whatever else it is, people are going to be saying, well, why would they give you information? I don't want this information.
People,
Would it?
people. What I the reason why I'm posting all over the place is just to be known. People are not necessarily going to click on that ad. They just see this idiot, whatever, you know. So I've heard. They just see this idiot's face everywhere, and everywhere they go, they see this guy's face everywhere, and that's why.
Do you know one of these groups that you post in off the top of your head?
There is, yes, they are. There is. There is, let me just, why I know them by heart. I've typed them 1,000 times. Let me just some of them doesn't have English names, so I just have to first look for one that I post to that is in with the English with some English title.
I was just going to have a look to see what you're posting, basically, because
sure.
I mean I'm struggling to see how posting a link to the landing page is going to be that effective, because usually you want to give something of value first before you ask for people's contact information.
I think that is why I've got it a bit of lopsided, or I think is that an American word where I've
No, I understand. We use that too.
Where and that's the idea that I got from one of your videos. One of your more recent videos is where I've asked for information, but I haven't provided enough value for people to give the information. So my descriptions for the property on my landing page used to be very short, a very brief description. And then I heard listen to an Alex Moromosi video where they say you have to give a lot of information, you have to give a lot of value, and then people might be willing to give you their info.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, 10, 15 years ago, people were just throwing the information out all over the place, but now they're a lot more skeptical. So it definitely takes more work. That doesn't mean to say you can't post something like that. Like if one of your clients creates a really great guide.
Just a moment, it's my wife calling. Just a moment.
No worries.
Nadia. Nadia, привет. Oké, ek sal kyk. Goed. Ek is net gaan 'n video gesprek met hom. Oké, ek gaan Maar waar speel die musiek? Jy moet net sit draai skakel net die laptop uit. Die musiek. Oké, ek gaan Nadia, ek speel 'n video gesprek. Kan ek jou Dit is seker Edge, Edge web browser. Ja. Of dit is waarskynlik dit, ja. Of dit is iTunes. Oké, wag, ek gaan dit stop. Van hier af. Ek gaan dit stop. Ek is net op 'n video gesprek. Oké, so stop. Oké. Goed. Ладно, давай пока.
I've had to switch to to the local Wi-Fi because, believe it or not, my phone battery, even though it's on charge,
Okay.
it was about to die. So
Okay.
I'll switch back onto the Wi-Fi. So hopefully it's not too bad.
That's okay. It's okay. Let me just. I'll give you one. You asked me for one of the groups that I share to. Type the word. Search for WEWSA. WEW Sierra Alpha. I think that's one of the groups.
This is a group on Facebook?
On the Facebook, yes. WEW.
Sosso Grande Community?
It's a... And then type the word WILD. I'll type you, I'll copy and paste you.
Paste the link?
Paste the link. That's going to be easier. Paste it to you here in the chat. Got it there.
I'm hoping it's open because I won't even be able to see anything anyway. Or if it needs.
There's going to be some. If you're sensitive to hunting and guns and that kind of stuff, there's going to be. There might be things that are.
I'm okay. I appreciate that cultures are very different. I need to be accepted in there. It's okay. What was I going to say? Yeah, so I think you can. I think I was struggling to understand the process for the way that you do it because your lead magnet is essentially the game numbers.
Yes.
But they would only be interested. In my mind, they would only be interested in those after they'd watched the video.
So what I do is
interested in.
Okay, what I do is in the very first page is I post my video is on the very first page, so they can watch the video, and then there's a short description, and then there's the click here for the game for the game numbers. So that is my you could say that's my value, and then on the landing page there's a thank you page for thank you for supplying you, giving me your phone and number, and please check your email for more information.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So we're going to help people do the same process as you, just not quite to the level that you go to. So you can. This is how I make content and provide value and capture leads. You don't have to go to that extent. You can create, smaller pieces of content that are easier to create natively on Facebook, or start to post articles and stuff on their website, which is why I asked if they had the website, but that's not entirely necessary these days. And then somewhere in there's going to be a link to a lead magnet to capture a lead.
And that's all.
And then you need to help them to create.
Yeah, that's what
you need to help them to create that lead magnet.
Yeah, that's what it all boils down to: is get the lead magnet to build the list.
Okay, cool. So it doesn't matter in my mind, because you said that you want to get them to post content on Facebook and stuff, and you're not really doing that. You don't need to talk about it in those terms. You just need to say, I need to create regular, valuable content that is interesting to people. That's what I do. This is how I do it. You don't have to do it like this. You can do it like this, which is going to be much easier.
Yes, yes.
So you're still teaching the same principles of create content, bloody connections.
And just as you mentioned, in a simplified, in a simplified way that would still get results.
Yes, exactly. So you're still teaching the same principles. So you don't have to be concerned that you're not doing the same thing. You've just taken it to another level yourself.
Yes.
But that doesn't mean that it's not going to work for them. And it's the same principles that we see in the vast majority of online businesses that are making an effort to create some kind of brand or a personal brand, where they create content that people are interested in and they move them down into a funnel. So it's not like, so just because you're not doing it, it's not like some completely untested thing. People are doing this. I'm doing the exact same thing on LinkedIn. I'm providing content, providing value, and then slowly leads coming in as a result of that. Same on YouTube. That's why we're here talking to each other, because you went through that same process.
Yes.
So it's not just because you're not doing it, it doesn't matter, in my opinion. You're just doing it slightly differently to how you're going to teach, because it's an easy way for them to do it.
Yes.
And you can, if they want to learn about stuff, as I'm sure you will, because you love doing it to an extent. But yeah, they know that it's the long-term game, and if they want to like improve over time, that's the level it can get to. So bringing it way back to the simple 1,000-foot view of this, the platforms are Facebook. We're going to be doing Facebook, helping them do Facebook ads and helping them post on their page and inside of groups. What are they going to post? They're going to post simple content. You're going to recommend that they do video, and you can coach them through that and give them some simple videos to try to get them started. They're going to regularly post content on Facebook and on their page, and they're going to funnel people regularly towards the lead magnet, which you are going to create. After that, that's when they're simply going to move into an email funnel, I presume.
Yes.
Which will continue to provide content. How's your funnel set up? Email funnel.
Okay, my email funnel is, the only thing that I'm currently doing with the email funnel is people sign up to the link, and then what I'm actually supposed to be doing is I'm sure in the software that you're using, or the website that you're using, you've got an automated sequence of emails that goes out once a week or whatever. So every person that clicks on your link to sign up, they get it. They're in a sequence. I'm supposed to have that. I don't. Is that I?
You know how to set that up in Kartra?
I know, yes, I know how to, but yes, I do. Not effectively, I think that's the way.
Okay, so keeping it really simple for them and for you, actually, because you can do this. So at the moment, my sequence is 8 emails over 4 weeks. And then they sign up, and then you get 2 pieces of content every week, as far as I know, on a Monday and a Thursday. For 4 weeks, just providing value. And then at the end of that, there's 3 calls to action to book a call with me. So you could keep it really simple for these people, again, just to start with, and just get them to create 1 email a week for 4 weeks, and then putting in their calls to action inside of that to, I don't know what the calls to action would be. Once they're a lead, what do you want them to do next for the business?
If they're a lead, once they're a lead, so yeah, I mean, if I do it, I teach estate agents, so it would be the kind of information that I probably be sending is how to, for example, how to clean your roof, or some information that what is important to sellers. I'm not sure if would that be kind of relevant. It's just to teach people to.
I think a good direction service-based business, and you see this a lot in the software world, is where the value they provide is essentially giving them the process of how to do something. So yes. As an example, I'm trying to think of a good example here. Let's say how to batch and schedule 5 pieces of content per week. And they teach them the exact process on how to do that. But then they say, our software is going to make it so much faster for you to do it. Come and use our software to do the same process on autopilot, so you don't have to think about it as much, and you can schedule stuff for 5 weeks, and there's all the other benefits
Okay,
that come with that.
that makes sense. That's very good. Yeah, because
So what I'm saying is that think of like problems that people have think of the problems that sellers have, solve those problems, but then just say, you know, if you come and work with our services, we can get these done for you in no time, and you don't have to think about any of it, something like that.
yeah.
So the value is basically solving problems that sellers have, but then just making it very clear that your service is going to make it quicker and easier and more convenient for them to do that.
So what I'm constantly have to remind myself, just as you were speaking there, is that the service or the offer that I have that I want to create they're not for sellers and buyers. It is an offer for estate agents, and I have to teach estate agents to I have to get estate agents into my funnel, and I have to do that exactly what you say. That's a very good thing. Is what have you been doing automated a good way? You know what the word is it's also important. Yeah. An automated way of how you can stay in contact with potential buyers and sellers.
Exactly.
Because as you were speaking, I keep basically forgetting that it's for estate agents. I'm a level lower. I should be here, but I'm thinking about this. So it is providing value to estate agents.
Yeah, that's your business, but you need to teach them how to provide value for clients in their business.
Correct.
So you definitely still need to think about stuff and figure out what that's going to be.
Yes.
I'm going to switch back to try and switch back to them.
It's actually sort of it's a multi-level thing.
Yeah. Exactly.
Oh, okay. Basically that's what you're doing as well.
It might sound, yeah, exactly. It might sound like we're going a bit all over the place at the moment, but similar to what you said before, you don't know what's going on in my head in the same way that I don't know what's going on in your head. So yes. We are going to bring this all together, and it's going to start to make more sense.
Yes.
In a bit. Why is this not showing up for me? Come on. Yeah, the delay when I use their internet bugs me. Okay, that should be a bit better now. Okay, so.
Do you want to take a break? I'm still fine. If you want to take a quick break.
No, I'm fine. I'm fine. Okay. Yeah, we've got until about 1 o'clock. It might mean carrying some of this over again, but I am very happy with how this is going, and like I said, it is starting to come together in terms of what we need to help them with. Because we want to be careful too, because there's potentially a lot to this process, and you don't want to overwhelm them with too much stuff in a short space of time. So we want to try and keep it as simple as possible throughout the funnel, if you like. So the email funnel, you could help them set up a simple email funnel, which you could set it up to provide some value over a number of weeks, but then I'm guessing what you're also doing, what estate agents are also doing is sending out, if they're looking for sellers in particular, what sort of stuff are they sending out there to capture sellers?
On this particular Facebook group that I sent you, the link that were you able to get in there? There's a typical ad from what the estate agents are in the market that I'm in the type of properties that I'm operating in. I'm looking at it. a drop of photos with a size of the property in hectares and the price and everything, that all the information, and it's all there, and without any lead capturing, with a phone number, without any lead capture information. Everything is just the full, everything is there.
So how is that getting sellers? How do they, if you're going after sellers in particular, what do sellers need to see to be able to say, oh, I need to look at what this person is talking about, and download their lead magnet, and then once they're a lead, what do you need to show them consistently to get them to become a client and to sell their property through you?
I think
it's just simply keep reminding them of.
They just post they post the same photos every single day. They keep posting. This is from estate agents. They post the same. They post their properties basically the same as what I'm doing.
And is it just because sellers are seeing the properties for sale that they realize that this person can help them sell their property?
Yes. I think that's what happens. I think they sellers see the name. I've seen this guy. Just contact them, because I don't think people are used to they're familiar with a sort of with a funnel, with a type of with a value proposition.
So once a seller is a lead, they've seen some content, they've downloaded your guide to help them with problem XYZ in the process of selling their property. What do they need to see once they are a lead to convince them to use the estate agent services?
The estate agent services. I think it would be as with you, an email sequence of
providing more value, solving more problems,
providing more value. Because what I think is, I think there could be people that everybody sells eventually, but it's to keep them reminded they might be ready to sell in 2 years. They might be thinking of, okay, their kid's going to leave school in 2 years from now. So they're not going to sell now, but you have to sort of get them in your funnel and then keep reminding them about your existence. So in the specific market that I'm in the agricultural property, it could be, your funnel could be 2 or 3 years. The whole process is several years long, and you preferably want to keep that same people who is the sellers. They might become buyers again, and you want to keep those people. But in a residential.
Okay. So what are you sending people? Say your process is 2 years. What are you sending people in that time to remind them that you exist and that you can help them sell their property?
That is a tough question. But what I would think, I think my market that I would probably want to target are residential properties. Is your mom and pop shop in town, because those.
So what do they need to see?
What do they need to see? I think.
What do they need to see regularly to remind them that you still exist? I mean, what's going to stop them from hitting the unsubscribe button when every email comes through?
That's a good. Yeah, that is.
Maybe it doesn't need, because it's such a specific time period, isn't it, for people? But you want them to know you exist as soon as possible, so that they know you're there for later.
Yes.
But at the same time, it's probably not quite the same as, for example, my business, where I'm sending people 2 pieces of content a week to help solve problems for them. If they know in their minds that they're not going to be selling for another year or two, they're probably not going to want 2 pieces of content to come through week that tells them how to sell their property because they're just not in that phase.
Yes. I get the idea that what are the the because I'm not in a residential market, but the few houses that I sold the people, it seems to happen quite fast. So the sellers they the lead up takes about, say, 3 months. So 3 months today they want to sell, and then 3 months from now the property is sold. So you have to sort of like maybe get them about 2 months or 3 months before they start selling. Then send them an email once a week about whatever, taking care of the garden, fixing the roof, whatever.
Okay. Again, I'm asking all these questions to kind of understand the headspace of these types of people and what we need to provide to them. I feel like if your lead magnet is, it's not going to be true for everyone, but I feel like if your lead magnet is something to the effect of, here's the 7 key things you need to have in place before selling your ranch, property, whatever you want to call it.
Yes, that's it.
I feel like those people are going, if that's something they sign up to receive, they're going to be coming up to that point anyway. It isn't true for everyone, because like for example, I've contacted not estate agents, so like mortgage advisors, when I just wanted to know some stuff for the future. But I think the majority of people will contact estate agents and people like that and download lead magnets and read their content and watch their content when they get into a stage of actually wanting to do that.
What you mentioned there is, you articulate much better than, of what I, one of the kind of things that people they don't know about mortgage advisors. So that's also some of the information that one can advise sellers and buyers of, about what is a seventh, and as you mentioned, a very key thing there. A key is not what is the 7 things. Here are the top 10 things. I think that comes in with copywriting.
So you've downloaded my ebook, right?
Yes, I did.
I would literally use that as a template to create one for yourself, but also to teach your clients too. Because it's essentially what you're reading there is the overview of my system in my paid course.
Yes.
That is my framework essentially, but I'm just teaching the core steps, giving them some value in between, and it helps people see, how I work, and you put in your personality and all that stuff. But you can just use that as a framework to help people create it. And that was, I don't know, I think it might have been 7 steps. I can't remember. But you can just use that. That's the kind of thing that you want to be creating, and you want to help your people to create as well.
Yes.
Okay. So
that's
in the interest of keeping this,
that's it. Like in a the kind of, the value that I would be providing to estate agents is, why would they want to? Why would they not unsubscribe? Why won't they hit the unsubscribe button? And it is teach them to to create this sequence where people would say, for example, here is 7 steps when speaking to a mortgage advisor.
So what we can do once we've nailed down, what your process is and what the offer is, we can then talk about that and just discuss how to boil that down into, a simple 4 or 5 page lead magnet for people. And again, this is what we're doing here is becoming your system, your intellectual property, and the asset that you are creating for this new business. And it's the same process that you're going to take people through. And eventually, I could definitely see this becoming a standalone course where a lot of this is taught in terms of the processes and everything, and you don't have to do it with people anymore. But
You
I
know
think at
what?
this stage, like we discussed, it's going to be a better sell to people to jump one-on-one with you and to figure it out in that way.
You know what? I'm feeling like almost like when I first um, was shown Katra, my head is like spinning. So so I sometimes, you know, when you sit there, I lose half. I'm losing track almost of because, but it's and
Yeah,
I then
don't
I'm
worry.
just
I've got all my notes. I've been
okay. Thank
making
you,
little drawings and
thank you, because I'm I'm not in a sequence. I'm all over there, and yeah.
yeah. My job is to ask you the right questions so that I can see the system laid out and the processes. Because for me, it doesn't matter what the industry is. I can get the information I need to be able to create a system that works for anyone, basically.
Okay.
So that's exactly what we're going to do. Okay, so in the interest of keeping this simple, as we said, maybe we don't need to necessarily talk about a 2 or 3 year funnel and helping them create that. You can definitely give them some tips on, because the mortgage advisor I used when I remortgaged 2 years ago, he's now contacting me saying like your rate's coming up. Let's have a chat. And he's WhatsApping me and he's emailing me and he's all sorts, but he knows the exact date because he worked with me and he's got a good system that allows him to do that. So you can talk about that kind of thing, but you're not necessarily going to help them create that system in this offer because we're going to try and keep it simple. So you could give them, again, going back to what I said about if they're downloading the lead magnet, it probably stands to reason that the majority of people are getting to that stage of wanting to sell a property.
Yes.
So let's focus on those people and we're going to help them create a simple email funnel that is going to, provide some more value to sellers and just constantly remind them of what your service can offer. Okay, so email funnel. And then the call to action, once they get that call to action, it's just going to be simply to book a call, presumably, to speak to someone.
Yes, I think it's book a call.
Okay.
Also, yeah, it's a very important thing that you mentioned is to keep it simple. Is because the whole thing that I've got is I want to make it too complicated. I'm thinking about too complicated when people get confused, very easily confused, and especially when there's too much information, they get overwhelmed and confused.
What I want you to think about here, yes, that's absolutely right. What I want you to think about here is, one, obviously these people know nothing. So when you're trying to get them to set up like everything in Kartra and getting them to run all these different ads, and like Facebook ads alone can send people cross-eyed if they don't know what they're doing. It's a very difficult process. But the other thing to think about is that you don't need to teach them everything now. You're helping them get the foundations set up. And then at the end of your 3-month contract or whatever you make it, you say, we can do more. Do you want to start to layer in these other components? Do you want to learn how to do YouTube ads? You've got so much to offer people based on your experience that you've got very good reason to keep people paying you.
You've mentioned a very important, it's certainly.
So it's by keeping it nice and simple now, it's easier for you to create an offer that you can deliver comfortably, because you don't want to be spending 50 hours trying to set this all up for everyone.
Exactly.
So keeping that simple in that sense, it won't overwhelm them, but it also gives you more opportunity to work with them in the future to start to build this out even more.
Exactly.
Because if they're going from zero online presence outside of just posting listings on a website to having a presence on Facebook, posting content, building a lead magnet, building a landing page, like that stuff is massive. Even though we know that that's only a very small part of like an online business and you can do so much more, to them it's just huge. So we want to keep it as simple as possible now so that you can, not blow their minds, but also work with them in the future if they can see the benefit in doing that. So
it's exactly what you say. People, they're going to be know nothing. They're going to be most probably technologically challenged, BC before computers. So keep it simple.
Yeah. Okay. So what I've got is as a kind of flow chart of what you're going to teach them. You'll explain. I guess Kartra will sit in there.
So
it doesn't have to go in this. It doesn't have to go in this order, but because I like your idea of doing the easy wins first and showing people Kartra in the beginning, even though that's not necessarily utilized immediately. But the flow chart of how what you're helping people create is the traffic source, which is on Facebook, which is through content which you're going to help them create and schedule and have a structure to that is easy for them to follow. How to run some simple Facebook ads, so like campaigns or video view campaigns, so they can retarget them with listings and stuff later.
Exactly. Yep.
How to post into like groups and stuff like that. How to move that attention that their content provides and their ads provide into a lead magnet. With that comes with like how to set up Kartra, how to create the landing page, how to create a lead magnet, how to create a simple email follow-up.
Sounds good.
And as a part of that, obviously how they're starting to build this database that they can follow up with later. And then how to set up a call booking system so that people are automatically booking calls. And I'm guessing they know how to do the calls already because that's all they do pretty much. That's like the standard approach.
Before I forget, I just want a question to you about your method, your sequence, your system that you built. I'm sure you've got your system is fully set up and it's built. I'm sure you're probably tweaking it constantly. But did you lock yourself in a room and threw away the key for 2 weeks and switch off all the phones so that you can just sit there and do the whole thing? How did you do it?
To be honest, the one that I've got now is so much simpler than the one I had. It's funny. So I decided to move away from selling the course and instead move into doing one-to-one stuff.
Yes.
And to make it nice and simple initially, and then I'll move back to that. So I've got this very complicated funnel in the back end, but most of it isn't even running because I'm just focusing on this for now. So yes, I did spend lots of time in a dark room building all that out, but I don't think the method that I'm going to share with you is going to take as long to do that.
That's just curious.
Yeah. Because the other thing is all like you've already got the most of it done in the sense that you've got the landing pages and you're collecting leads already. The only thing that you need to change is to create some kind of funnel that comes after that, which will automate some of this stuff. So that basically just means writing a handful of emails and setting up an automated sequence inside of Kartra, which shouldn't take that long.
Yes.
And do you use like Calendly already and get people to book calls that way?
Yes, well, it's built into Kartra.
Oh, they have their own calendar.
It uses Google Calendar, but you connect Google Calendar in Kartra, and
that connects to Zoom and schedules calls.
Yeah,
in Zoom.
It can do all that.
Yeah, so there's not a lot extra for you to do for your business in this. Like the funnel isn't some massive machine that you're creating. It's like you've got the core components there already in the sense that you've got a way to generate attention and traffic, a way to generate leads. The only thing you need to add to the system, the funnel you've already got, is a way to nurture those leads automatically in a more systematic way.
Yes.
So that you can start to bring in clients for this new business.
Yes.
Or this new way of working, which is basically estate agents, which we can definitely do. So I think, looking at the time, once again, we didn't get all the stuff done we wanted to get done. But I do feel like we've made really good progress with this. And I think what is best at this point um, is if I write out the process that I've basically planned out here and what we've talked about for ages, and for you to just go away and think about the core things that you want to teach people in each of those zones or stages, let's say. So at the moment, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stages to your offer that you're going to help people create, like the system you're going to help people create. So it's you going into each of these and thinking, what specific things do you want to help them achieve? So you could, oh, actually, that's a point. We talked about Facebook ads, but your hook was no advertising.
No pay, free. How to get leads for free without
without paid advertising.
Without paid
but would you not class like campaigns and video view campaigns as part of that system?
Yeah, you
Or
can.
do you not use them?
Yes, you can. There is ways you can get. You can get. Yes, it's possible to get likes by simply just using by organic means. It is possible.
Are you running Facebook ads at the moment?
No, not at the moment.
Okay, cool.
But I have in the past. I have, yes.
Okay, so at this point, we probably don't need to teach them Facebook ads.
No, I don't think it's always something that you can look at the initially and then see how and then measure see how it goes and what is the reaction, and then add the Facebook ads afterwards.
Yeah. So
because at the moment it's just it's a quick, easy wins at the quick, easy results. That's and John, I want to ask you: is it sensible to say to people that okay, it's not going to be, it's not going to take, it's not overnight. This is going to be a process.
Oh, absolutely.
Because it's going to take. Because if I say there might be people that are and that will think that okay, if I do this, it's going to take 3 or 4 months to get some form of results. But then probably they are not the kind of people that you want for your
exactly.
for your coaching.
Yeah, I would 100% lead with that all the time. So it's not necessarily banging the drum and saying this is going to take ages, because you will start to put people off. But where you can, so for example, in my videos, I mean, I created a video on this in particular about expectations about people creating courses and how long it's going to take. If you're just starting out an online business, you're not going to be making 6 figures in 6 weeks.
Yes.
You're just not. You might be able to if you've already got 100,000 followers and they're really engaged and they love you. You can probably do that very easily. But for people just starting out, it takes time to build. It takes years, like 2-3 years, to build up a solid online business that is consistently generating traffic, and you've got a big email list and all these other things. It takes time to do that. So just be real with people and say that it can be tempting, and I've seen the online space go this way more and more, is to talk about bigger results being achieved in even shorter periods of time, and you get sales because people want the quick shortcut to success. But do you want to run a business like that?
No.
I know I don't. Yeah. So
because those people are not going to stay.
Yeah, exactly. And you've got integrity. So yes, definitely say to people like this is what I do, but realistically it's going to take some time to get these things in place. But if you stick with it and you're motivated to actually not be doing this stuff in 10 years that you're currently doing, like we talked about last week, yes. Push those buttons, push that bruise. If you want things to change and in 10 years you want the situation to be a lot better, just stick with it and you will start to see results in the next 3, 6, 9, 12 months, whatever it is. So yes, definitely don't don't hide away from the fact that it's going to take time and effort to get the results that they want, which they should know because they're in business anyway, most of them.
Yes, yes.
Cool. So what I'm going to do is write this up properly outside of some chicken scratch on a paper. And then if you just think about the core components of everything that you're helping them set up and think about what you want to teach them inside of that. If you want, just be free and just write down anything you can think of.
Okay.
And we can always like tighten it up in the next session. And then we'll look at how you're going to communicate that in an offer point of view. Which actually I might even start to do that once I've got it written out and I can see it a bit better. I can maybe bring some ideas to the session rather than starting from scratch, because we somehow take loads of time to do this.
Now, when you showed me LinkedIn, I'm looking at the time. It's just looking at it's a good reminder that you showed me LinkedIn, because it could be a good place where there might be some other estate agents that are on LinkedIn.
Yeah, let's try something quickly. So I actually subscribe to Sales Navigator, which allows me to search quite a lot. So I've never not actually tried this before. So let me see. Can I ask a random question?
Yeah, sure.
Are you a gamer by any chance?
I am, yes.
I feel so.
Check this out. I know.
Oh, is that? Oh, I want to wait. Is that
That's
what one is that? Quest 2.
Quest 2, yes.
Yeah, I want to buy one of those.
One of the things is you get in the beginning, you'll get sick. You want to puke, but just keep persisting.
I've played. My brother had the. What did he have? It was one that he had to plug into his PC, and I played a few games with that. Yeah, most of them were fine. One of them he played. It was like a shooter, but you controlled the character with a controller, yes. And it had so much head bob, and it wasn't because I was moving forward, but obviously I wasn't moving. I just totally lost it, and I felt so sick. But most of the other games, like Beat Saber and whatever else you were showing me, they're all fine.
My kids love them.
Yeah, because I saw J2 Cents in your link thing there, and I was like, I wonder if he builds PCs and stuff as well.
Well, Scott, here where I'm sitting, I've got 3 screens, and I've got I think I know more now. I've got a Raspberry Pi 2, and I've built our houses here. We're on the farm, and I've got a wireless a WAN. It's like a LAN basically all over the farm with all different houses where all the wirelessly connected, and we've distributed the fiber. Okay, too much detail there. Anyway.
No, yeah, I love it.
I am a gamer, and I know it's actually thief of time. Thieving time is gaming.
Oh yeah, I've been a gamer all my life.
Yourself?
I literally, really randomly, I was playing Half-Life this morning, the original Half-Life.
Oh yes. Now you have to try. I just wanted to mention you. Half-Life Alyx VR is
So as soon as I can get a decent. Can you play it on the Quest 2 if you plug it into the PC? Quest 2.
You can place it on. Yes, it's just through. You can play it wirelessly on the Quest 2 on a PC. It is amazing. I can tell you, it is shooting around corners. It is just unreal. It is. You can't explain it to somebody else.
I definitely want to pick up a Quest 2. How much are they over there?
Well, I imported it from the US. It was the same, probably same price as you would pay for it in UK.
I think it's £300 here.
£300 for the 128 or 250 for the 128 gigabyte version. but I thought for me it was well worth it. It was I love it, just love it.
Okay, for some reason I can't get on Sales Navigator, which would let me add a few more filters. But just as an example, I've just searched for estate agent, the term, and then searched for people. So it's basically any person that has the keywords estate agent in their profile.
Okay, good.
In South Africa, and it's got 22,000 results.
Jeez, yeah, that's wide. That is.
So you can what you would want to do, because there's obviously a lot of these are going to be employees of estate agents. So in Sales Navigator, you can actually specify like you can tick like managing director, CEO, like basically the decision makers.
Yes.
And start going after people in that way.
Because I thought about if you get a sale, well, like it's a mom and pop shop, or they've got 3 or 4 estate agents, and make the decision maker, get them to train their staff in using this, something like that.
Yeah. So my other current client does exactly that for recruitment agencies. So he sells the program which teaches owners of recruitment agencies how to train their staff to use LinkedIn to get candidates and to get job seekers and that kind of stuff. So very similar really to estate agents in that they're looking for buyers and sellers. Recruitment agencies are looking for people that are looking for jobs or people that are looking to move jobs. And then obviously stuff in between that. But yeah, so there's so many possibilities with this, to be honest.
Thank you for sharing this.
It's a conversation for another day. But LinkedIn could definitely be an option for you in the future.
No, it's definitely it's definitely an option that I should add to my list. It's not, one of the things I've heard, it's not what I'm like, it's not what I like or what I'm used, it's what everybody else likes.
So I feel like YouTube is obviously the numbers game. That's the long-term play. That's obviously working for you. Don't stop doing that. Facebook, the way that you're doing it on Facebook at the moment is a very hopeful strategy, in that you're just hoping the right people see it.
Yes,
what's really good about LinkedIn is that you can target very specific people. Now there's a bit more legwork in the sense that, so my process is to connect with someone first. I normally go and engage in their profile. If they've posted content recently, I'll go and engage in some of that. And then I'll start to talk to them in the DMs and, create a relationship first, and then pose the question, you might be interested in what I have to offer. So it's a bit more work in that sense, but you can see very clearly if someone is your ideal client, and you just tailor your strategy to that person specifically. So it might be a good thing to consider, because you are now going after business owners. So there's going to be lots of those people on LinkedIn.
Yes.
And the strategy will be exactly the same that I itemize for you in this. You'll just do it on LinkedIn instead of Facebook, in terms of the content strategy and stuff like that.
I like it. Like it makes sense.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
Cool. All right, I'll get this written up. I'll send it over. You can think about the different pieces and what you want to teach. Just go mad and just write down anything you want, and we can always tighten it up. And I'll also come with some ideas for the next call about how to present it as an offer on a call yourself.
Excellent. Now,
go ahead.
No, I said my head's spinning from.
Hopefully, once I've written it down and you can see it laid out, it might make a bit more sense as to how it's going to flow for you.
I'm looking at my.
It's clear. Now. It's clear in my head. So as long as it takes, we'll get it clear in yours.
Yeah. No, it's about most things. If you do it frequently and you, it becomes natural. It's just through repetition. So If I'm ready. I've got my calendar open. If we can book another date or another day.
Yeah, how's next week looking for you?
Next Monday is same time. It's fine with me.
Same
Perfect.
time next Monday?
Same time next Monday.
Yeah.
Perfect. See, it was from 11. Got it.
What date is that? That's 18th, is it?
Yes, it's the 18th. Yes.
18th. We're getting an extra couple of nights stay here next week now. We're supposed to go home on Tuesday, but our flight was cancelled. So there's lots of job cuts lots of staff absences because of COVID. So our flight got cancelled.
So
we couldn't get another flight until 2 days later. And the lady with the Airbnb, she just said, just keep it for another 2 nights. That's fine. So we've got 2 nights extra for free.
Have you had sun shining here?
Yeah, the first 2 weeks weren't great, to be honest. But it turned Thursday last week, and it's been low 20s, like 23, 24 sunshine every day. So it's beautiful.
So I think well, with regards to COVID in South Africa, the public here, the general, I would say the civilized part of the public is in uproar about all this, probably like in the UK as well, about all the COVID. So what happened here is, I'll tell you briefly, is the government 2 years ago, it was abuse of power. There's the civil rights organizations have launched a legal process to get this whole COVID thing completely squashed. So the government they've used like emergency whatever powers to extend they call it a state of disaster for 2 years, and so there was a legal challenge that it took everything within the law. It takes years, and eventually it got to a point where the government they were defeated in the courts, everywhere in the courts, and now on the 4th of April they couldn't go on with the state of this so-called state of disaster. What they're now trying to do is in the process they're trying to slip on these this mask mandates and stuff into regulations, and then try to get it into law. And now the civil rights organizations are once again going to court to get that squashed. But basically, in the long and the short is, from the mask mandates are gone in South Africa. The people are so brainwashed that if I go to a shop now, everybody's got it on, but there's no legal. There's no legal precedent for people to go and wear, but they've been brainwashed, and now so on the 5th of May, officially, every single COVID regulation is gone, and then there's no.
Oh, nice.
It's like 17th of April 1986. It doesn't exist anymore. So we just were. I think they tried the same thing about the vaccinations and all that stuff, and the people, the public, most of the people are very anti-vaxxers and all that.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So South Africa has got a very low vaccine, low part of population that's been. I think like 60% or less of the population got vaxxed.
Yeah.
And so
wow.
They said
all of our regulations, they stopped early March. But we don't even if we get COVID, we're not legally obliged to isolate anymore. We can do whatever we want, basically.
So is the mask mandates gone in the UK?
Yeah, all gone. It's all gone. Yeah.
So you can get back. You get back in a jam-packed tube train again.
Yeah, you just get sick straight away.
And I remember, in the jam-packed tube trains, so there's like the doors, people go with their backside back into there, and they just push a bit, and then the doors close.
Yeah. Oh. No, not for me. Not for me anymore. Location independent business.
That is location independent. Okay, Dan, thank you. I've taken much of your time, but we'll speak
Yeah,
next
no
week.
worries. Yeah, once again, it'll probably be on Wednesday. I'll send over the notes and we'll
Okay,
go from there. Yeah.
excellent, excellent.
All right.
Wishing
Talk
you a
to you
sunny
soon.
day there and a pleasant sunny day there.
Cheers,
Take care.
mate.
Take care.
Right,
Bye-bye.
see ya.